Well, thanks very much. That's brilliant. It's great to see everyone here. So, as I say, 10 years, it was actually February where the official anniversary, but I'm kind of spreading it over the year to enjoy it to the maximum. So, I said I was going to talk about obscure sites. Well, not very obscure, but however, what I've got to show you, just on this page, at the bottom of each page, we've got the photo credit and the particular photographer, because just about every one of these photos is from one of our different contributors. So they're all down there and with the information on what the particular site is. And this is a classic midwinter sunset, which is probably, as the makers intended, the midwinter being possibly the more important festival. So I said obscure. Now what we've got first is going right back to the top image is 1916. Now this is the first contingent of Canadian forces going out to the Western Front from Lark Hill. And what you can see in the background is Stonehenge, of course. And where's my pointer? There we are. Of course, you can see Stonehenge. And you can also see the very first ticket office that they set up and the heel stone. So that wasn't very popular with the locals, apparently, when they set the ticket office up. So both images, you can see Stonehenge, of course. The bottom one is from 1906, and this is a very big Druid gathering. They were, I think, initiating them. And what you can see on both is there are these telegraph posts. There are the supports, there are telegraph poles, as I say, there and here. And they were around from about 1903 and all the way through the First World War till about 1919. So, you know, it was a pretty run-down-looking place in those days. But the Druids were there in force, and you can see them. You can't really see it on the photo, but they've all got, well, you can see down here, but they've all got long beards, which I'm told most of them were false. Maybe some of them were genuine, but they all had, you can see the long beards. Certainly on the ones there you can. So over the 10 years, we've had some fascinating images come in, those being a couple. The top one of us actually spotted on eBay. It was being auctioned, a postcard, I think it was a photo. So just someone selling the old photos, and we just spotted it and nabbed the image off eBay. Another one from Stonehenge that we found, which was a mystery until last week. This is from 1958 on the left, and it says here, danger, radioactive area, do not proceed beyond this point, with a bystander looking slightly bemused. And this was, as I say, someone posted this on in 2005, and just last week someone's come forward who knows what was going on there. So what he said is 1958 was Richard Atkinson, the archaeologist, and his team did the big excavation and restoration at Stonehenge. And you can see at the back they're rebuilding some of the lintels. And what they were concerned about was that when they tried to lift some of the lintels up, that they would possibly crack and, you know, be destroyed. So what they got was they borrowed a revolutionary portable X-ray machine, and they were using it to X-ray the stones to check for cracks in the structure before, you know, putting them under a lot of stress. So they did that, and fortunately they didn't find any problems, and they did all the reconstructions. But as I say, the Ministry of Works were a bit concerned about this X-ray machine, so they put this warning sign about, I think it probably was radioactive as well, because it was a big old thing. But they didn't close the site to visitors, so people were still happily wandering about like this young chap here. So the warning sign was good enough for them. And going forward to 1961 on the right, you can see it's looking a bit tidier. But I think they still straightened the stones between them and today. And in between them then and now, I don't have a photo, but they had gravel down for a long time, and which they took away again later. So that's through the years of Stonehenge, some unusual photos that have come forward. And moving to today, this is talking about, a lot of people are talking about their research today. This is Jack Morris Eaton, who's interested in shadows and how they're cast around the site, the stones of Stonehenge, as the sun comes up on various days. And what he's done is he's had permission to go in with digital cameras, and he takes time-lapse photos essentially as the sun comes up and looks at what the shadows do. And I went in and helped and hindered him, and that was a fascinating morning before dawn, him setting up there. He's also interested in a lot of the sites around Cumbria where he comes from. So we were talking a lot, or Hugh was talking a lot about Google Earth, and there's another very useful tool that you've probably heard about, which is Google Street View. Now, there was a lot of publicity when this went out to the whole of the UK. I think it was last April, so it's been just over a year now. And there was a lot of things in the media about people doing strange things that had been spotted or showing their bottoms or such like that were in the media, and people going looking at their houses and so on. But there are an awful lot of stones and things like holy wells that are by the side of the road, and they're just there to see. So what I did was I did a competition challenging people to find as many sites as they could on Google Street View. And then you can still do this is still running. If you find a site, you post it on, and you can link it in, and it gets plotted on this map here. So what this is showing is just for England, but you can choose any country in the world that's got Street View. There's in quite a few now. And you will see, you can click on these individual pages, and it will take you down to a view in Street View, and you can drive around in that. You can also download the data. So I'll be showing a bit more of that in a second. So what Google have done now as well, Google Earth has been out quite a long time, but the very latest version, which is version 6, what they've done is they've combined the two, and I'll show you that in a second. But before I go on to we've got some videos coming up. I will just say that you can, as Hugh alluded to, you can download all our site data, and you can open it in Google Earth. You can also open it in various sat-navs in TomTom format. And I'm about to do GPXit, which is for, I think, more for iPhones and mobile mapping. So, but you can currently get it in Garmin and TomTom. So we're going to be expanding this over the year. And so there'll be more things to download and run on a mobile application type base. So here's the first video, going back to Stonehenge. And this is into Google Earth. You can see there all the sites that I've downloaded. I haven't done a whole country, otherwise it would slow to a standstill. But we're coming down over North Yorkshire there, and we're going towards the Thornborough Henges. So there you can see the three there. They're not quite in alignment. People think maybe they're like Orion's belt. There's a remarkable similarity there. And we've also got Cursuses in green there. And I'm dropping down to the central henge. Now look at this yellow man. You drop him onto the road. I'll show this a few times. Go down to the road, say what road you want to go on, and you're in Street View. Isn't that remarkable? You can drive around, and you turn left, and there is Thornborough Central. Now I'm just going to have a quick zoom around, and because we've downloaded the megalithic portal data, you know it's Thornborough Central, and they're all annotated for you. But you do exit ground level, you're back up to the aerial view, and so you can go out a bit, and I'm going to head north a little bit to the Thornborough North, which is really in a clump of trees. Drag the little man down onto the road, say where you want to go, and there it goes down again. And, well, it's in a clump of trees, so you can't see an awful lot, but you get the idea. And it does distort a bit because it's trying to sort of make it look like you're driving around. But it really works amazingly, particularly if you've got broadband. So going from Thornborough, I'm going to go north now. We're going over Perthshire there. All those sites, that's just Perthshire. And then we're going up to the Isle of Lewis. And I'll zoom back out in a minute. But what we're going very north to is the Trucial Stone, which is one of the most northerly ones in the Isle of Lewis. And you can see it there, obviously. It's marked there. So I'm centering it again, and then look for the little man at the top. He's going to appear. I'm going to drop him down onto the road, say where I want to go. And down we go, right back near to that big building. You can see it's really seamless the way I've done it. It's remarkable stuff. And then turn a rather ugly shed there. But behind the shed, there it is. There's the Trucial Stone, one of the biggest stones in Scotland. And what we're doing is driving along the road there, so you can tell it to go up and down the road, and you get the different views. And that's as far as you can go at the end of the road. But as I say, these are all stones that you can find. I mean, I've picked some well-known ones up to now, but a lot of those stones that Hugh...